Yeah, Overlord.
Hey everybody, it's Tripl-L. Hey, let's talk Overlord, episode 7. Let's get into it. So, this week's episode of Overlord, we took a significant detour from Team Awesome, in other words, I mean Team Ainz, Team Nazarick, and we just got into political intrigue. And to Overlord's credit, I'm just gonna start this off by saying that, well, actually, I was having dinner while I was watching this episode. And so it felt like time just kind of flew by with the episode, like all the political parts just kind of flew by. Like before I knew it, we were at like the 15-minute mark and we had just gone through a whole episode with Climb and them. So, you know, props for that. I'm kind of sad that we didn't get more of the Sebas stuff, but that's just personal preference. Anyway, yeah, this week's episode of Overlord, when you like really look at it, we took that serious detour into the political intrigue. And so on that front, we have all kinds of things being thrown at us. We have Climb's character establishment. We are getting his characterization. We have a bit of characterization happening for Renner, the princess. We have like I don't think it's really a reveal, but just pointing out that she is very smart. She can crack things very easily, and she has a certain attachment to Climb. And it's very adorable, very odd, but it's not as adorable as, say, the stuff that with Suade and Sebas. I think those two are more adorable, even though it's a bit more heavy-handed. I think they're more adorable. Anyway, before getting into that part, yeah, it's just the political intrigue stuff. We're like pushing on all fronts. And one thing that I do want to, I guess, point out here, or not point out, but it's how would you say it? This is like giving props to Overlord, I suppose. Or specifically the adaptation of Overlord. Just because when you're seeing certain lines being told to you, you can tell it's exposition. But because this is a light novel adaptation, it doesn't come to the same problems that, say, an anime original production would have. Sometimes anime original productions, they are being written maybe 3 weeks in advance. And because of that, there are instances where changes can happen. By the time you get to the end of the show, you might have had some serious changes in the writing. Because of that, foreshadowing becomes a little bit harder when it comes to anime originals. But when it comes to a light novel adaptation, the issue isn't you're coming up with the scripts like 3 weeks in advance. No, the issue is how many details do you want to try and cram into the episode. So what it ultimately makes is that for a show like Overlord or for a show like Death March, most details are not wasted. The only time that you can really say that you don't have to pay attention to what the characters are saying is when there's a fight scene going on, because people can take liberties with fight scenes. But when you're having like Gazef right there and he's talking about the prince and the prince's buddy who just he goes everywhere, you know that is exposition. That is a plot point that's gonna come back to us. When you have Gazef talking about what Climb is, that Climb doesn't have ability but he has experience, or he has experience that he can like tap into, you know that's gonna come back to like haunt us later. So it's just like that. You have these characters, they're all saying important things, and it's just everything that they say, because of the nature of the adaptation, you just can't have a relaxing moment. You have to pay attention to what the characters are saying, because those plot points are probably going to come up later. And on that side, you know, we have characterizations being thrown around everywhere. Like on the brother or the prince's side, we have him talking about how Renner is a monster. Okay, well, we've seen the ending song. We saw that creepy little clip of her, so yeah, he's probably right. Although Renner's like pointing out, or she's being a good person in this episode, so we'll have to see exactly what the twist is with Renner. And you know, on a very quick note, this is having to do with the light novel. I remembered this thing that was said to me, that the sole advantage that novels, I shouldn't say the sole advantage because you can argue it, an advantage that novels have over, I guess, adaptations or movies or any kind of bringing it to life on the screen. The advantage that novels will have is that the novels can paint a better picture of the mental landscape of the person, because they can tell you directly what the person is thinking when you're dealing with a novel. Adaptations can't really do that as well. You could do it with like meaningful glances, but otherwise you're going to be taking up a lot of time to try and give exposition to a mental landscape. That said, In this scenario, I remember very distinctly that from the novel, there was a segment where the Blue Rose leader had an observation about Renner. And I'm not sure if it's supposed to happen another time, but it's just, I kind of missed it here, but it was just like the reminder, well, this is, we can't see the landscape of these characters that well. We see Ainz because Ainz has a little bit of a comedy setup with it, with his inner monologues, but otherwise, can you imagine having to monologue every character when we want to like talk about the intricacies of what they're thinking? It'd be pretty tedious. Anyway, that was just a bit of an aside. Going back to the Renner stuff, like overall, I see what they're doing. They're just, you know, they have to set up all the players for the political side of this. We have so much political intrigue, and yeah, we'll just kind of have to see where it goes from there. Like, I think they're doing well so far, and like I said before, the fact that we got to 15 minutes, or I got to 15 minutes and I didn't notice that the episode was going by, a good job on the adaptation team. Now, there is one small note that I have that I thought was just ridiculous, and that was when the guy came to talk to Gazef and Climb. And he was saying like, oh man, it's gonna be terrible if one of the noble faction people see you like fighting him and losing. Like, guy, come on, man. Come on. That's just stupid. You know, like the point of that scene was to give us exposition that things are tense. But like, really, the guys are having a sparring match. What is the problem if someone sees Climb get beat up by the guy? It's a sparring match. And then you say, well, no, it's gonna look bad because, you know, the royal guardsman or whatever beat down the princess's personal bodyguard, who's like a big deal. And it's like, look, if it's that sensitive a situation, there's nothing stopping a noble from going out and saying that he saw it and just lie about it, versus him just seeing it here. Like, I think that was just funny, if anything. It's just to like illustrate that there's like serious tension here. But really, it was a sparring match, guys. Like, whatever. That's characters being stupid. Anyway, another point that I wanted to very quickly touch on. Let's see. It's not about the prince and his bro for life, the guy that is everywhere. I'm just looking through. Oh, here we go. The maids. So the maids also like play like a bit of a role here. Like at the beginning, they're just there to like further flesh out the picture that Ride is an anomaly here, that they think the princess is being funny and all that. And then later on, when Ride's heading out, we see the maids there like listening in on what the princess is about to do, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, man. If you ever want to annoy me, if there's a surefire way of doing it, it's you show me women who can only ever gossip. So many problems in my life have been started with women gossiping. Whenever I see it in a show, just like a part of me in the back of my head just like kind of snaps. And it's maids, goddamn maids. Anyway, not the point. I just thought that was that part just resonated with me. Anyway, moving into the cute part of the episode, that's Suade and Sebas. Yeah, man, like I said before, it's heavy-handed, but I find it adorable. And like, you know, they're still playing up that card. Like, Suade just can't help but cry whenever Sebas is being nice to her. Guy, I'm totally into it, alright? Totally into it. And then in this part of the episode, we also have like other things being set up. Like Solution is going and gonna go tell on Sebas, and then we have the perverts showing up at the house, Stefan and Succulent. Like, yeah, alright. When you look at the episode at this point, it's clear. It is a setup episode. It's a hard setup. They're just like setting up all the players, and then next episode's just gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing. If they're doing it a bit slow, then maybe not. But hey, it's getting there. It's getting there. Anyway, yeah. Let me just think. Is there really anything else I need to say for the Sebas part? It's pretty simple. That part was very easy. Solution was being gawked at. We all saw that. It was, you know, whatever. Can you blame the guy? Well, yeah, he's a pervert. He can't control his lust. Like, come on, man. If you're there to intimidate, you might as well not be gawking at any lady. But then again, like, this guy's a position of power. He's probably used to it because he can get away with it. Anyway, another minor sidetrack there. Overall, the way that the episode ended off, I think that was a really strong finish, with giving us the comedic note, but also that serious note with Ainz freaking out when he realizes, or he's told that, what, Sebas is going to betray us? And then Solution just saying like, yeah, I have evidence. And it's just like, on some level, Solution, you're trying too hard. You're going too hard. Like, the guy saved a human. How is... Oh, anyway, we all understand how this works. Solution's like one of those extreme evil characters too. So her freaking out at a guy doing something that's against the Overlord's orders, yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense that she'd freak out like that, but can't wait for the next coming weeks. Let's see what happens. You know, all things considered, you're a viewer, you're watching this, like, you know Sebas isn't betraying anyone. Like, he's acting on very complex motives here because he's got like the possible curse of his creator acting in him. So we're gonna have to see how things unwrap in the next episode, but I'm thinking it's gonna be pretty exciting. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Let's end it there, and till next time, I hope you have a great day.